What's up, everybody? Hope that you're having a great sales week, better than last week, and setting yourself up for an even better week next week. Wanted to talk real quick about one of the most important aspects in the sales process, and that is your ability and your consistency in setting mutual expectations. What do I mean by mutual expectations, and why is that so important? I find way too often with salespeople that I work with that there is a expectation or a desire that they have that hasn't been articulated and agreed to by their prospect or their client. So what does that look or sound like? Well, I may be coaching one of my sellers, and the conversation may turn to, what are you hoping to have happen, or what are you expecting to happen in the next appointment with X client? Well, what I'm hoping is, they're going to want to buy such and such from me. Great. Did they express that they're expecting the same thing? Well, we agreed that I would come back with a presentation. Okay, break that up right there. The expectations aren't mutual in that scenario. And the reason I say that is, if as a seller, your expectation is to close someone who hasn't agreed that the next time you guys meet, they're willing to be closed, in other words, to make a buying yes or no buying decision, you haven't set a mutual expectation. One of the really key parts to being efficient and effective in the sales process is to make sure that prior to your next meeting, you're setting agreed upon expectations, mutual expectations with your prospect or your client for what they also expect to happen next. And here's a real key to this. If they don't agree specifically to what you want or need or expect to have happen, you shouldn't have that expectation on your side. You've got to manage your own expectations and manage those expectations of yours to your client's expectations. If you wish to close something, the only way that that'll happen is if your client or your prospect has agreed that they're open to being closed or to entering into a buying decision in the next meeting. It sounds like a simple thing, but I see that mistake made over and over again. It slows that when you don't have mutual expectations, it slows down the sales process. It makes the sales process a disjointed relationship or process between you and your prospect or your client. So, my advice for today is take as much time as you need and be as thorough as possible to make sure that prior to ending a meeting and setting the next meeting, you've got clear mutual expectations between what you want and expect to have happen and what your prospect or client agrees they're also wanting or expecting to have happen. At the end of the day, your prospect or your client is going to set the expectation of they're going to set their own expectation. You can help them through that process and try and align them with where you are, but at the end of the day, you need to be aligned where your prospect is. If you get in front of them expecting something to happen that they're not ready to have happen, it's going to be a activity and frustration. It's going to extend the sales process. Again, it's going to make it disjointed. It's going to make it uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, it's just not an efficient or effective way to sell anything. So to continue to drive and work on and perfect your sales skills, make sure that you understand and are following the idea of setting mutual expectations prior to any meeting that you hold. Very clear, very specific outcomes of the meetings are the best way to set those mutual expectations. If you do that, you'll find your sales processes become more efficient, they become more effective, they're a better experience from the buyer side, and at the end of the day, you're just going to sell more, and you're going to sell more a lot faster. Hope that tip has been helpful. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll be talking to you again soon. Peace.